let's do 3, 2, 1, go. All right.
Okay. You gonna
Ready?
say it?
Oh, I think we should say it together.
Okay, here we go.
Okay. Ready? Three,
Three,
two,
two,
one,
one,
go.
go.
Hi, it's Reba,
And I'm Katie, and this is What About Bob's?
a podcast about friendship first,
Then movies.
and if we're lucky, a bob on top. We have like a cheer.
Should we come up with one? Bob
Yeah.
on top.
Bob on top.
Hi, Reba.
Hi.
Welcome back. I'm so excited for this new block of movies we're about to watch. I'm
I
very
know.
excited for this episode.
We're kind of doing spooky season late.
Our
We've had a lot of
post-spooky
life
season.
happening. But we watched this movie in October, but if you're watching this, it'll be we're like the extended cut of spooky
Yes.
season.
Yes. Which I am normally a like hit the ground running. Christmas begins November 1. But for some reason this year, I feel like Halloween came like a little, I wasn't ready for it. It like snuck up on me and I felt like I didn't get to like, I feel like it's the weird thing where when Halloween, I feel like it's just when it's on a Thursday or Friday. It's like it feels like it should be that weekend, like the weekend after, but like nobody does anything the following weekend is
Yes.
what I'm learning. And so it's like everything happened on like the 23rd. And
Like
so
the week
it felt
before.
like people were like done with Halloween by the 26th.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
I did go trick or treating with my sisters and my niece and nephews, so that was very cute.
And I just want to say, I almost feel like we need to insert your costume
We
into
can
this
we can insert it.
because what our listeners don't understand is Katie outdoes herself every year with her costume for Halloween. And this year I am just blown away.
This year came together in a way I was not expecting. Some years are better than others, but this year was something I had decided. I've been like wanting to do it for my whole life. It's like, oh, that would be so great. And then it's like I always forget or like I don't know where I would start. And then I feel like a couple months, like maybe end of September, I was like, I'm gonna do it this year. Like I could actually do it this year. And that costume is Danny Dennison, the little sister from Hocus Pocus, main character's little sister. And I bought a witch hat on Etsy. It was like a pretty expensive witch hat. It's an investment piece.
Very nice witch hat.
It's a really nice witch hat. But like the perfect shape of just like circle, flat circle, and then like cone. And it was like I feel like the proportions are like timeless and I'll wear it all the time. But I just had that and then like September was like kind of gnarly busy and then like October got away from me as it does and I didn't have anything 1 week before Halloween and I was like, am I still gonna do it or should I just be like a regular witch, just like wear all black? And I was like, no, I'm gonna do it. And I like went to the thrift store the week before and found most of the clothing that I would build. I found like a red blousey shirt with like a turtleneck that I was like, I can cut this into a tunic. I found like a black skirt. And then I went to Michael's and I found like the stuff that I had to hot glue to the skirt and like fabric paint. And I burned the shit out of all of my fingers hot gluing that skirt and then painted the tunic, which nearly broke my spirit. It took so long.
The,
It was
like
like the day before. I was like, I did it. I did it.
Well, I remember it was a few days before Halloween was the night we watched Suspiria. And you were texting me like, I have been working on my costume all day. And when I called you, you were showing me and you were like hand painting all the suns, doing the little intricate, I can't even, what, 20, how many hours do you think?
Probably like 20
20
ish
hours
hours. It was
in a
crazy.
week. Like you just like made it happen. And it's phenomenal.
Oh, thank
I
you. And
truly
I
think
feel
this
like
is your best one.
I feel like I need to, for how little screen time I got because it's like everybody did stuff the weekend before and I
Yeah.
didn't have a costume the
And you
weekend
just did it
before.
for trick or treating
And we just did
with
it
the
for trick or
kids who aren't
treating
gonna
with the
appreciate
kids
it.
who didn't get it. There was quite a few millennials. All of my family was like, "Oh my God," as soon as we
Oh, I'm
walked
sure.
in. And there was like one other kid parents there that was like, "Oh my God, this is so perfect," blah blah blah. Um, and then of course I like posted something on Instagram and got like a handful of people being like, "This is perfect," but I think most people did not know what it was. But it's pretty niche. That's what you get when you do a niche costume. That's the risk you run. But I'm like, I gotta wear this to like a bar costume contest or something.
Yes. You have to. It is so good. It was
It took
so
way too
good.
long. What did you guys do for Halloween?
We actually did dress up. We did end up celebrating, and I put our costumes together. I'm actually proud of ours. I did not spend hours, but I did do it all in one day on Friday. And I hit up several thrift stores, one Halloween store, which meant I had to stand in line to go to a Halloween store in Manhattan. All of the Halloween costume stores had lines on the day of
Oh
because
my
everyone was just
God.
like doing what I was doing, which was pulling
Yeah.
together a costume day of. Jaden and I did characters from this anime called Chainsaw Man, which
That's so funny. I just saw something about Chainsaw Man the other day and I was like, didn't you dress up Halen as
we
the
dressed
dog
up
one year?
Halen like a few years ago as Pochita, the like chainsaw devil, which is like a little like orange like chibi dog with a
Uh-huh.
chainsaw face. And so I did have a homemade costume for Halen a few years ago when like the series was coming out. But like the week of Halloween, the second portion of like this kind of the animated version of the manga came out in a movie form and we saw it in theater. So
Oh,
so like it's
perfect
relevant
timing.
as of right now, like the
Yeah.
US release of the movie just came out. And so that was kind of fun because it was again a niche costume. If you know who we are, it's really fun. But if you don't, you're kind of I can also insert some image of Jaden and I dressed up. But we were like devil hunters. So we were both
Okay.
wearing white shirts, black ties, and like a black suit. That's what like the characters wear.
Cute.
And then Jaden was one character who has a katana and like a bun. And so his
Cute.
hair's long enough. We put it in a bun, and then I got him a light up katana that he like had on his back. And then,
Again, an investment piece. You can use that for years to
yeah,
come.
yes, like that. Of course, we needed that. And then I was the angel devil. So I had angel wings and a halo and a suit.
Cute.
So it's cute, and my hair is like kind of a similar color. So it was like kind of fun. We did not go full cosplay. We were very much the Halloween costume version
An
of these anime
interpretation.
characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was pretty cute.
And then you guys just went
So
out to dinner.
yeah, we went to this bar and had dinner, and it was cute. Like, just like it was like perfect in between, like a divey kind of cocktail bar. So they were playing music and people were dressed up, and then we went to a haunted bank. So like a haunted house in this old bank, which was fine. It was not that scary, but it was really fun just to like do something like very
Huh.
Halloween.
Yeah.
And then when we were like on the subway and waiting in line, like we could just saw like tons of people in costumes around the city. And that
That's
was like
so cool.
really cute just to see people
Hmm.
like or just even waiting or like sitting on the subway in costumes is like really hilarious.
Like on their phone, it's like straight
Yeah,
face,
like
but in like the
doing normal
silliest.
stuff,
I love
smoking a
that.
cigarette, but you're like a ghoul is
I
really
love that.
funny.
I love
Um,
Halloween. It's yeah, when we drove home from my sister's who lives like 40 minutes north, when we got to like we were going through downtown Salt Lake, it was probably like 10:30 maybe.
yeah.
And we were like done. We were ready for bed. We were like, it's so late. But like everybody, of course, was like getting ready to go out. And so it was just like hordes of people on the sidewalks downtown, just like walking in full costume, which I feel like you don't like see. I don't know. I felt like people like really came out this year, and I
Yeah,
really liked that.
I
We
felt like
needed a
that
win.
too. We needed that. Yeah.
Love it.
Anyway, but
Love it.
yeah, we watched a very Halloween spooky movie. We watched Suspiria, the original,
OG.
1977.
Mm-hmm.
And for context, you and I had already seen the 2018
18, yeah.
Guadagnino Suspiria. So we watched that last year. Adored it. And
Love.
it's
That's
time.
in our letterboxed top four currently. So
Yes, it was a favorite. A top four from last year was amazing. We really enjoyed it. And we needed to watch the source material. So the original Suspiria came out in 1977. The director was Dario Argento, and this Suspiria, the movie was sounds like based on a series of essays published by an English writer named Thomas de Quincey in like 1845, I
Ooh,
think.
spooky.
Yeah. And the series of essays was called like oof, Suspiria de Profundi or
Okay.
Profundis. I did not look up how to say that, but it means in English sighs from the depths.
Ooh, that just gave me
Yeah.
a chill.
So I wanted to give us a little bit of a background on Dario Argenta and then a little tiny like bit of the background on those like essays
Yeah.
too, to kind of get us into it. But Argento, he is a prolific Italian director. He's was doing a lot of work in the 70s and 80s, and he was super influential in the horror genre and also this Italian genre called probably pronounced giallo, but
Mm-hmm.
people will yell at me if that's not right. The Suspiria like poems, essays that like I guess this movie is inspired by examines the effect of hallucination and altered consciousness on memory.
Oh,
So like
that's
the
interesting. I could
writer
see
was
that
like,
though.
yeah, like writing like how like drugs and hallucination mess with your
Yeah,
memory.
that's interesting.
Yeah.
Ooh, spooky.
So this movie is also a part of a trilogy. So similar to like how Clute was one of three, this one is also apparently one of three. So Suspiria came out in 77, and then he has another movie called Inferno that came out 1980, and another movie that came out in not until 2007 called
Oh,
Mother of Tears. And the trilogy, I don't know if Argento calls it this or
mm,
who, but it's a tribute. Like the name of this trilogy is apparently The Three Mothers. So I wonder
spooky.
if the other movies have like a similar, like kind of like matriarchal figure.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Ooh, that
Cool.
is spooky.
Anyway, I got
I,
kind of nerdy about all of those
oh,
like
I
fun
love
facts
it.
because I feel like it was like I was like looking into it and it made me like appreciate the movie even more, I think.
Yeah,
So,
for sure. No, I loved this movie.
me too.
Um, I did read that it was originally written for a younger cast. Did you read that too?
Uh-uh.
It was originally written for like 12-year-old girls, and like the studio or the producer, somebody was like, "We can't do that. They're not gonna let us do that."
Sure.
So they switched it to like 20-year-old girls, but they didn't rewrite any of the dialogue. So that's why the dialogue feels kind of like childish
Interesting.
at some points. Like I remember there's one where two of the girls are like bickering and then like stick their tongue out at each
Yeah.
other, remember? And it's like,
Yeah.
that's so weird. But like, yeah, I guess they like didn't change it. They're just like, okay, we'll just make them older. But I feel like this would
There's
have been such a weird movie with kids
for
and like way
teens.
scarier.
Have you ever seen the movie House, the Japanese film
Mm-mm.
House? We should either put it on our list or you should watch it. It's great, but I feel like House is like similar to this, like that it reminded me in kind of the theatrics, and like just some of the fun practical effects and the haunted houseness of it all. But that one I think was inspired by the director's, I might be getting this like kind of off, but I believe it was inspired by the director's daughter telling a ghost story, and then he like made it out of that. But it has a younger cast of girls that go to this haunted house, but I feel like that would be the little girl version
Yeah, I
to
would watch
this.
that for
Anyway,
sure. That's so
anyway.
funny that you said that because I feel like we like tie things together so often, but like I have one of my notes is that this kind of just feels like a nightmare. Like it doesn't really make that much sense, but it feels scary in kind of a childlike way. Like it does feel like a just script. Like I feel like especially like the set design and like the score,
Yes.
the soundtrack was a banger.
It
It
was
was so
kind of
good.
like, I don't know, felt like it was like kind of like a scary like music box,
Uh-huh.
like a
That's exactly
Halloween
what it
music box.
sounded like. Yeah. That's so
Um,
good. The set design is insane. It's like breathtaking. It's so cool.
yes.
And like the lighting, like the crazy neon lights throughout, and like a lot of it is just like a bad vibe, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
Which I feel like the Guadagnino version, I feel like, which I haven't watched it since we watched it, so it's been a
Right.
while, but I
Same.
feel like that one felt a lot more overt in terms of like what is happening and the intentions of what
Yeah.
is happening. And like, I feel like this one just felt more like something isn't right here. Like something is
Yes.
weird.
That that is literally what I wrote. I said the set design is gorgeous, but unsettling in a way that's like uncanny. Something's
Yes.
always not quite right, like either with the scale or with like the
Mhm.
angle.
Yes, the scale, like everything's too big, like it feels like a stage or
Yeah.
like a set. It's so spooky. Yeah. Every building,
Yeah.
every interior.
It is
Uh,
like being in a nightmare dollhouse.
mhm.
Yeah.
It's like way theatrical,
Yes.
in a way that, I mean, of course, I was comparing it to Clute because did they come out the same year? Are they both
This one may
1977?
have come out within a year of each other, I think.
So I
Yeah.
remember us discussing with Clute, like, it's crazy how, like, the way people were speaking, like, it feels like it could be now, minus like a few parts, like, to hear people
Mm-hmm.
speak so, like, I feel like when you think of things from like the 70s and well, any earlier era, but like the 70s and 80s, I feel like they have such a like distinct like cadence and
Yeah.
like weird manner of speaking. Well, it's like, well, Debbie, like blah blah
Yeah.
blah. And you're like, Clute is like so not that. Like it's so funny to watch them speak in like a more modern way where it's like not super stylized. And I feel like this was like the complete opposite. Like
Yes.
this was so stylized, and everything was dubbed. All the audio is dubbed. Like
Yeah.
that was
Whatever.
crazy too. I read that like they just didn't record anything when they were filming. Everything is dubbed
Oh, that
over.
is
So
how it
like the
is.
background sound, that's how it is. Yeah. Like everybody
Wow.
has like accents, and I think most people are speaking English, but not
Mm-hmm.
everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Um, which is so bizarre. Like what a weird way to do that, like intentionally.
But it
Um,
adds to the uncanniness.
yes, definitely. Yeah, nobody's voice is matching up 100%. They all sound very like kids in a play, like projecting to the
Yes.
room and like we're super, super overly theatrical.
I
But
didn't
yeah, it
realize
was,
that. I was gonna look up the like information on that. That's so fun to know.
yeah,
So
it's
bizarre.
so bizarre.
Yeah.
Should we start from the top?
Yeah, let's get into this movie. Our American ballet dancer, Susie, is showing up at the German ballet school, and we get some suspicious deaths and
Say the least.
yes, and a lot of people saying, "Witch, do you know anything about witches?" And it's just
I
Just a
loved it.
bizarre, yeah, bizarre, fun witch slasher film. Okay.
I feel like from the so I feel like colors, lighting is like the main character of this movie. In particular, primary colors. Or like red, blue, and green,
Red, blue, and green. Yes, I have lots of
especially.
notes about in this scene it's blue, in this scene it's red. Yeah.
So she touches down, she's at the airport. Susie is wearing a crisp, all white, what is this?
An all
Silk,
white matching set with
a
like a little
silk travel
skull.
set. It's like, can you imagine flying from New York to Germany in an all white matching silk set? My God.
And then
Um,
it's pouring rain as well.
it's pouring rain. And I feel like even before she exits the airport, it's like because that score is playing that creepy score, the music box,
The
and it's
music
like she's
box.
walking towards
Mhm.
the automatic doors, and it's like all black outside because it's nighttime. She's walking, and then like it cuts to the outside and she's getting closer, and then she's walking and it's getting closer, and it's got that creepy lighting. And then it cuts to like a close up of like the mechanism that opens the door, and it like hisses and opens, and like the wind like blows her scarf, and it's like she's like stepping into like this unsafe
Yes.
territory.
Yes.
And it was just like so chilling and fun and exciting, like from the jump. It's like, ooh, she's like
I've
stepping into this like spooky landscape.
yes. And it's such your classic like gothic approach the house kind of like vibes because she gets in the taxi and she tells the driver where she's going. She like has to repeat it over and over. It's like
Mhm.
Ernest Schartz or something like
Uh-huh.
Ernest Schartz, and he's like, what? He's like not understanding her. And then I love she like posts up to the like the window divider the address. And when she does that, there's like a flash of lightning behind her, and it's just like her eyes above the address. And he's like, "Oh, I know where we're going." And then they go, and it's like
And he
this
says
like
like the exact
crack
same
of
thing that she
lightning.
was saying.
We're going to the house. Um,
Hmm.
I keep calling it a house, but it's the ballet school, the ballet academy, and that's where they go.
And they
And
drive through
then
like the Black Forest to get there.
yes,
That was very spooky too. I
stormy
really loved
night,
that.
forest, and they arrive, and the house is like blood, or the academy, the ballet school is like blood red, the exterior.
Hmm.
And
And
I
everything is
remember
like
being like,
Technicolor.
yes. I remember just being like, nope, that's a red flag right there.
You
Like, we
wouldn't.
do not want to
You
be there.
simply wouldn't go
No,
in there.
turn around.
Yeah, they pull up and it's like this huge structure and like bright. The whole thing is like one color of like hot red. Um, Pulls up in the courtyard. It's pouring rain. She hops out, runs up, and as she's approaching, the door opens and we get our second character, Pat. Is that her name?
Yeah, Pat.
Pat's real upset. She is speaking to someone. She's standing in the doorway and speaking to someone out of frame that's like inside and like
Hmm.
and shouting maybe, but you can't hear her over the rain.
Yeah.
And so it's like just her mouth moving and you can't really make out what she's saying. And Susie's just standing there staring at her, watching her. And then
Yeah.
Pat books it past her, so upset, flailing, screaming, crying. And Susie's like, that was weird.
Yeah. That's
Here I
like her
go.
reaction. Like, strange. She's not like alarmed at all.
No, not alarmed
The
at all.
only thing she's worried about, which rightly so, was like she might not get in. So she's like telling the
Hmm.
taxi driver to wait. And
Hmm.
then that's like her biggest concern is like, they might not let me in.
And
And
they
they
don't.
don't.
A valid concern, as it turns out. She
Yeah.
tries to buzz in, and the person that answers is like, "Go away! Like,
They were
we
like,
don't know who you
I
are."
don't
And
know
she's
who
like,
you
"You're
are.
expecting me," and they're like, "Get out of here! There's no room." So she gets back in the taxi, and goes
I guess
where
she
to a
got, I'm
friend, a
assuming
separate person.
Yeah, I don't think they kind of like switch over. I think I'm assuming she just goes and stays at like a hotel in the city or something. But on her
She,
drive back, they show her, the camera shows her watching, like looking out the window and seeing the girl that fled the
uh,
academy, like running through the forest in the
yeah.
rain, in the
And that
storm.
was, I think, the part where I was like, this feels like a nightmare because that doesn't make sense. Because
Yeah,
why would she just be running through the forest? And why would this taxi just like, why would you be able to see her and be
yeah,
like driving parallel to her for a
yeah.
minute and then like, okay, bye, and like not stop? It just felt, yeah, like something you would be trying to describe, like this crazy dream. Like, and then she
Yes.
was running through the
And then she
forest
was running in the
and
forest.
I could see her. And then yeah, I think we start to follow Pat
Pat's
after that,
story.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I have a note about this really cool shot. Again, the set design and how the set, the like production design of the whole thing, how the cinematography like captures the sets is really impressive, I think. But the when we're introduced to to the building where Pat is staying, the camera like shows the reflection of the building in like a puddle on the ground.
Oh.
And then Pat runs through the puddle, so then it like distorts the reflection, and then the camera
Hmm.
pans up to the building as she's like running inside of it. And then we
Hmm.
see the interior, which kind of matches the exterior. And this part I was speechless. I was just shaking my head in awe of this interior set design
It's
of Pat's friend's
insane.
building. It's
Like the
so cool.
scale again of everything is like everything's so tall and like
Yeah.
crazy high ceilings and like a staircase that like goes around the outside and it's
Yeah.
like it's
He's like,
so vibrant.
as she enters in the entrance, there's this like strange like door opening for a staircase, but the staircase is like two stairs at like a right angle, but the right angle is like contradicting the
Yeah.
opening. And it's just this like you would never do that. And where the wall like why are
Like
the
at
walls this
MC
way?
Escher, like it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. It's like this is like labyrinthine weird. But she gets in the elevator. She doesn't take the I was very curious about the stairs, but she gets in the elevator and goes up to her friend's apartment. And
Hmm.
this apartment, I just
The
stunning.
wallpaper, stunning. Get Arch
Stunning.
Digest in there immediately.
Yes. We need a tour. I want to know all about it. It was, yeah, so cool. But she's like, Pat's super frightened. She's talking to her friend, but she like won't tell her
She's like, I
exactly. She's
can't
like, you
even
won't
tell
believe
you.
me. You won't even believe me. It's too
It's too
fantastical.
crazy.
It's just too crazy. But I had to get away. She's like getting dry in like the bathroom, like drying out her hair and stuff. And the wind blows the window open.
Everything is like
And
there's stained glass, right? Like
oh yeah, yeah,
there's
it does
stained
give
glass
us a
in the
good shot
bathroom
of the
and then in the like central
like the
like
main hall.
yeah,
Yeah,
the foyer there it's like super high ceilings and then this insane
you're right.
beautiful like skylight that is stained glass too.
Stained glass. Yes, they do. They do make sure we know about the stained
They
glass.
go,
Yeah,
look at that, be sure
they
you look at
go.
that.
Pay attention. Pay attention to this.
Schrodinger's stained glass.
Yeah, foreshadowing. Yeah. So yeah, Pat's in this apartment. She's drying out. The wind blows the windows open, and they close them again. And
I
her
feel like we
friend's
have
like,
some of the
"You're
like whispering here too. The
yes.
whispers on the wind, like you're a little jumpy.
Oh yeah, you're so jump. It's such an atmospheric like
Hmm.
soundscape. It's really great. But do you remember she's like staring out the window? She gets closer and closer to the window, and there's like black clothes like hanging on a line.
Hmm.
But like she stares into it and her like reflections in the window, and then there's like a pair of eyes, like kind of like
Hmm.
cat-like eyes, right? Did you feel like
That
that?
just appear, yeah, with no like they're like
No
digitally,
body.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And then this like this arm crashes through the window as because now she's like up close to the glass. This arm crashes through the window and
It's
it's like
so hairy.
hairy. That's what I have in my notes. A hairy arm. and
like,
like
is this a
grabs,
werewolf movie?
truly grabs her head and smashes it against the window.
Like
And
face
she's,
first.
yes. And then like she's like crushed against the window, she's screaming, and then I think then pulls her out up onto the roof, right?
Yeah, there's
And
somewhere outside different, like a
yeah,
balcony or a roof or something.
pull her up, stabs her, and then this is like our first like we are in like this bloody gory movie
Hmm.
now. And then he brings like a rope too. This like disembodied, we don't know who this is. This disembodied kind of arm stabs her and then hangs her by her neck, crashes her through her body through that stained
Oh,
glass
first, before he does that,
skylight.
he stabbed her exposed beating heart. Remember
You're
that
right.
shot? It was like ka-dunk, 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 and it's just like the knife. It's like a butcher knife. Go into it. She gets messed up.
And it's
And then
like
yeah, it's like her head goes
squirting
through the
blood.
glass first. And then her whole body, and she comes crashing through the skylight, and she's got the noose, and she like, which all honestly, it was giving a little bit Casey Becker from Scream.
It
I
was
feel like the way
totally,
she was
totally.
um awful. All the glass breaking down, and gets also nails her friend who was trying
Yeah.
to help her this
Her
whole
friends are
time.
running around and like the glass shards
Gets her
stab
right in the
her.
face.
Yeah.
A
And they do this
casualty.
crazy camera pan down her body, and this blood is like such an unnatural red, which is also very nightmarish, like this
Hmm.
kind of oversaturation, over exaggeration of the blood. Just down her
Hmm.
body, dripping on the floor, pans over her friend, like out dead.
Yeah. This one was, it was like kind of funny, but it was also like a lot of these kills were like kind of tough to watch. We were discussing how like practical effects I feel like are gnarlier for me to
Yes.
watch, even when they're like
Hmm.
less realistic, because it's like something like tactile is happening. I was watching, we were like doing chores the other day, and Ryan was watching something that ended, and the newest Jurassic Park came on, which I
Hmm.
actually did like, but very different than the original.
Yeah.
And it was showing like the new scary, like mutated dinosaur, like grabbing a guy. And I was like,
Yeah.
this is just so much less, like it looks so CGI. And like, I feel like even if it had been like a less good looking mutated dinosaur, it would have
Yes.
been so much scarier. And I feel like that's how it was when like the knife like goes into her, like kind of weird slow, like that I feel like is
It was
harder
so
to watch.
It was so I like flinched at all of the practical
Hmm.
effects. They felt so much nastier,
Hmm.
grosser than like yeah, totally. Yeah, I felt like we commented that over and over again through it, just like, oh, so much more difficult to watch. I think that the next scene is the next day.
Yeah. Susie's
Okay.
back at school. She's giving it another go.
Yeah. She said, "Let me try again." Shows up the next day.
She won't be deterred because she's got to dance. She loves
She's
to
got to
dance.
dance. She's here to dance. And this is where she starts meeting again. Also, more crazy, kooky interior set
Hmm.
designs.
Oh my
The
gosh.
school, the school is wild. I think to your point of like the weird 70s-ness of this, there was like few things happening in this movie. Set design, how they spoke, and just a couple other odd things where I kept thinking to myself like, is this just the 70s or is this witches? Like I don't know.
Like
Like
what?
yeah, like is it just like, part of the culture? But
Yeah. Is this witches?
is this witches or 70s? Cuz like the entrance again of this school is like blue velvet walls, and it's just again an odd layout. The staircase is way too long and it stretches
Hmm.
way too far, and everyone's like aware of each other in this big
Hmm.
room, which also is very dreamlike, that you're like
Hmm.
kind of aware of all the things happening at once,
Yeah.
in this surreal way. She like meets Madame Blanc, I think, is like the
Mhm.
main, like the first person she kind of meets who's like welcomes her in on behalf of the directress, like the head director who's not there, they
Mhm.
said. But then like that's when they kind of talk about like, well, we thought we were expecting you last night. And she's like, well, I came, but whoever answered the door said like they didn't know who I was. So now I'm here today. And then she gets introduced to Miss Tanner,
Who's
and
really something.
who's really something.
She was
Real,
so severe, and the whiteness of her teeth against the tanness of her face.
yes. Yes. Her teeth were so crazy. I love when they're I laughed so hard when she's like taking Miss Tanner is taking Susie on the tour, like kind of taking her up to her
Uh-huh.
class, and they're like walking up the stairs and like her blinding white teeth, and she introduces Susie to Pavlos. Do you remember that part? The
Yeah.
handyman? And I have a note that she says to Susie, he's really ugly, isn't he? Don't be afraid to say it. He can't, and like, it's because he can't understand because he only speaks Romanian. So she's like, you can tell him he's ugly. He won't even hear you. She's like, but then he's been more handsome since he got his fake teeth because he has
Mhm.
like gingivitis. So he
And
got
he
like
ripped
these
out
fake
all of his
teeth.
teeth.
Yeah. And he like smiles like as he's like walking. He's like this kind of like the lumbering, like kind of creepy,
Uh-huh.
like butlery guy. And he's like walking back down, but he like does give them a smile with his
Uh-huh.
fake teeth. But I was thinking like, Miss Tanner, you
Mhm.
also have crazy teeth.
She's got the turkey
It's
teeth.
a very pro veneers
Oh, yes.
movie.
Ahead of their time.
Yeah, very pro veneers.
Yeah,
But I
she's
loved it. That made me chuckle. That was quite
uh-huh.
funny. It's like he's very ugly. Like it's
Quite
this is
good.
very specific description of him that
Don't
I
you
like don't
think?
understand, but I found it quite funny.
And then they basically tell her like we don't have a room for you yet, right?
Yeah, her room's not
Um,
ready. She has to stay with Olga.
who's
And then she
kind of a
also
bitch.
overhears them talking about Pat running away.
To some
Um,
cops, right, that are there.
and they're like, she left maybe around 11. And then again, like Susie can hear and she's like, yeah, when I came, I saw a girl running out and it was about 11 p.m. or something. So they like confirmed that. But yeah.
Yeah, and Pat had gotten expelled, right? They said
Yeah.
she'd gotten kicked out of school, and then was murdered. The school had nothing to do with it. So yeah, they don't have room for her. She has to stay with someone named Olga, who kind of seems like a bitch, but is pretty cool. Olga has like a very commanding energy. I feel like she seems like I can't tell if she's like well liked, but she seems like very confident and like kind of gives some of the other girls shit.
Yeah.
This is that interaction we were talking about where it's like kind of immature, where Susie's sitting next to a girl, Sarah, and
Hmm.
Olga is like, I heard that girls that have S's names are snakes. And
Yeah.
then they're like going back and forth a little bit. And
They have this like childish kind of like
yeah, she just like,
banter.
it's very
Yeah.
weird.
What do you think about Olga? Because I feel like is she doesn't live at the school and she's weird about money. Like later we like learn the witch lore in this universe has to do with witches trying to acquire wealth. I wasn't sure if Olga's supposed to be like in on it or
I
not.
see.
But what do you think about her? She still kind of felt suspicious to me.
Yeah, I didn't think that at all, but I feel like I would like to like rewatch it thinking that and like see if there is like anything because she definitely had like a very big personality, but I feel like you also don't see her a ton.
She's only really in the beginning, and
Mhm.
it's not like she's like conspiring with the staff and the teachers, like obviously. But to me, I had a suspicious read on her.
Mhm. Yeah.
But
I get
she's
that.
fabulous.
She is
Like,
fabulous. And she
and
has her own apartment,
she has a fabulous apartment. It's
hmm
crazy.
which we don't get to see long enough because
No,
then
we don't.
Susie. Oh, well, what happens is Susie is she is hypnotized, right? By Madame Blanc has a spooky nephew.
As a spooky. Oh yeah, we did not talk about this creepy
Who looks
Victorian
like a
child nephew
Victorian
roaming the
ghost.
school. It's like a crazy little bowl cut and a little
He
weird
has like a little like
clothes.
ruff, I feel like. It's like he looks like a ghost and he's
Yeah, he
very
does look like a
creepy.
ghost.
And he has maybe like a nanny or something, or someone who works at the school.
Hmm.
And Susie is walking to her first class down the corridor and sees both of them sitting, Albert and the
Yeah.
nurse, like
Yeah.
being really weird.
So odd. Yeah.
And the nurse has a knife, right?
Yeah. I think it's like a knife or a mirror shard,
And it's
something
like just like
reflective.
turning it, like it's like stuck onto something, and she's holding it and is like turning it, and the light catches it and like glares at Susie, and she is like, huh, she's like so overcome.
It's it's a crazy performance. It's very
But it's so good too. It's very like, oh, it's like touching her head, and like it's so funny.
yeah. Oh,
So
and
she
it
becomes
when the glare happens, there's also like a voice that's like witch.
rich. Yes.
I don't know. That's fun.
And she
But
still
yeah,
goes to dance class.
yeah, goes to
And
dance class, but then she's like, and it's in Miss Tanner's class or something,
Mhm.
and she's kind of like, "Can I sit this out? I'm like feeling very weak." And Miss Tanner's like, "I got to see what you can
Yeah.
do. This is our first time working together." Oh, and I think it's important to say she arrives back to the school like pretty much like, "I'm fine to stay at Olga's. I don't want to live here. Like I'll just stay at
Oh yeah.
Olga's." And the teachers are kind of weird about it.
Yeah. They
And
don't
then
like
this
that.
happens.
Hmm
So then she starts to feel like ill and woozy in the class. So she's trying to dance.
She looks like she has very bad like LBS, like low
Yeah.
blood sugar.
Yes.
Like
She's
she's like
looking very thin.
sweating and like, oh.
My note here is this was me every time I had to run the mile in gym class.
Like
I need to take a break.
trying to
Right.
jump a little, and everybody's like lapping her in the
Yeah.
dance. She's doing such a bad job.
She's like very faint. She's like,
Uh-huh.
I think she passes out and then she wakes up and they're like, I guess you need to stay at the school.
Mhm.
Olga already packed up your stuff and she brought it all here.
Mhm.
So it's like, I think there's like, my take was like that they really want her to stay there. So the fact
Mhm.
that she showed any resistance, they're like, we'll make her stay then. And then like
With a little knife twisty
the
hex
little
on her.
twist of the knife.
Yeah. And
So
then they have a male doctor prescribing her
mhm.
with a chalice of red wine every day that she has
Yeah.
to drink.
This was another, yeah, her special diet. This is another thing where I was like, ah, the 70s
Yes. Like,
prescribing
is this
red
70s
wine
or
to
is
make
this
her feel
witches?
better. But I do think this one's the witches. This is not a 70s
I think so
cultural
too.
moment.
Just some red wine.
Um,
He'll be right
and
as rain.
then she's staying there and Sarah is like, oh, I live right next door. And she's like, I don't know why I have to stay at the school. It feels weird. But now she's staying at the school with, presumably most of the other girls.
Hmm
So the teachers got what they wanted, which is Susie at the school. I don't know if this happens the same night or like a few days later, the maggots arrive. That's what happens next, I think.
Susie's brushing her hair out of vanity, and I remember there's a really similar scene in the Guadagnino movie, but I feel like this one was like worse almost. And it's not like the Guadagnino one wasn't practical, because I feel like it probably was really similar, and it wasn't
Hmm.
definitely wasn't CGI. But I feel like because it was like such a like low brow way of trying to like fake this like it like creeped me out more, I think, a little bit. Like she's brushing
Yeah.
her hair, and at first you just get like you see this little white speck, which I'm sure is rice, just like land in her hair. And I think it's because it's like You're like, that looks like rice. What is that? Like, that made me feel so creeped out that I was like, not even sure if I was seeing anything. And like,
Mm.
it could be that the remake was like closer than I'm remembering, but I feel like it was like she brushed her hair and then there was like maggots in her like I feel like this was like a slower buildup of something
Mhm.
happening. But she finally like reaches, feels it. It's a maggot. There's maggots in her brush. She looks up. The ceiling is covered covered in maggots. And same is going on in Sarah's room. Same is going on everywhere. Now it's just showing girls like laying in bed with maggots
And
falling
they're
on
like
their
coming out.
faces.
It's terrible. It's
And these
like
are real maggots. You
it's
know they're
like
real maggots.
yeah, and they like close up on them like wriggling around and piling on top of each other. It's the same feeling. I had the same feeling that I would get when watching the old like Willy Wonka and the
Yes.
chocolate factory in the
In
tunnel,
the
and it's
tunnel,
like
yeah.
showing like bugs close up and like
Yes.
things like that, and it's that same ickiness.
It was so gross. And they're all flipping out. They're like running through the halls. They're all covered in maggots.
As you would.
As Miss Tanner, Miss Veneers comes up to
Miss Beneath.
investigate. She goes up to the attic and finds a trunk of like meat,
Yeah, their food storage
which
was
why is
spoiled and
that
the
there?
maggots were coming out of it.
Yeah, that's what they
Very
say.
interesting.
Very
Very
interesting.
interesting.
And they do say they're like, it's only the student rooms that were affected. Everything else is fine.
Yeah. They also clarify like this wasn't Madame Blanc's fault. Like the people that brought us the food, like clearly it was spoiled. Yeah, and it
Mhm.
only ruined the students' rooms. And so then they do a little camp out,
A slumber party in the gymnasium or something.
which this was an awesome scene in terms of
This was very
lighting.
cool.
Yeah, they put up these sheets all the way around the room, and all the girls have to sleep in their little beds in the same room, and they're kind of like all in a circle with these sheets around. And then they turn off the lights, and the off light is like red. Like
This
the
is
main
bright
scene
red,
color
yeah.
light is red, so the whole like scene is washed in red, and then because of the white sheets, we get this cool silhouette effect where the
Hmm.
staff is like, "We're gonna stay here too," and they're sleeping behind the curtains,
Hmm.
presumably. Sarah and Susie are sleeping in beds next to each other. And Sarah wakes up Susie and is like, "Did you hear that? Do you hear this like breathing behind us?"
This part actually like gave me the heebie-jeebies for some reason, and I'm not sure why. But yeah, Sarah is like, "Can you hear that breathing?" And you're hearing this like sleep apnea, like death rattle snore. That's on the other side of the curtain that's backlit by red, so you can see a shadow of somebody laying down. And Sarah is like, that's the headmistress. I know it. Heard that snore before, like, and then tells a story about like coming upon her.
One night, someone slept in the guest room near her, and and she heard that same snore. And then the next morning, she learned from Madame Blanc that that's what who was sleeping there. She's like, "Oh
Mhm.
yeah, the directress, headmistress was
And
sleeping
it's
there
very like
last."
whispery and it's all like red light. And she's like, that's the directress. She's here, blah, blah, blah. And again, it's like all dubbed weird. So it was just like that one gave me a
She
spooky
Sarah
feeling.
is constantly like deer in the headlight, very
Mhm.
on edge, like every time she's speaking, and she's like finding Susie kind of a new confidant, and like she's kind
Mhm.
of starting to be like, I don't trust these women. I'm anxious, and like I
Mhm.
think yeah, Susie's kind of like taking everything kind of at face value, and so just listens, but like she's kind of like, okay, like whatever. But Susie is also, we're learning, like doesn't, she starts to get really sleepy at night and like
Mhm.
passes out really early, super dozy, not super conscious of what happens right at night.
Mhm.
And so unfortunately, Sarah's like always trying to tell her really important information like right before bed. And Susie cannot stay awake.
I feel like, didn't I say, or did I just think that like this is me and Ryan trying to watch a movie like after it gets dark? And
Oh
like
no,
Ryan
that's
like
so funny.
can't keep his eyes open. It's like, no, I'm here, I'm listening. And then like immediately, that's Susie. She like cannot, and she's just in bed and like doesn't even want to try and
Yeah,
pretend
she's
that
just,
she's gonna stay awake.
yeah,
She's like, I'm good. And yeah,
I'm good.
Or Sarah's in her room and trying to tell her about um the footsteps, right, that she's been hearing at night.
Yeah, I think that happens later once they go back. That must happen then
Oh, you're
the next
right.
night. But okay, but I think
We-
that that's basically what happens this night is that they overhear. That is the information we get from Sarah this night that maybe the directress actually doesn't leave or is
Mhm.
actually in the school. But the next day when either Sarah or someone, I think Sarah asks about it, the teachers deny that the
Mhm. Say
directress
no.
is there.
Mhm.
So she assumes she's like, no, I know, like they must be lying. So there's this is more proof to Sarah that she should continue to be like suspicious about the staff. So,
Mhm.
um, and then we have a weird, this next day is when Daniel, our blind pianist who does the piano
Yeah, this
for
is kind
the,
of like a side quest, huh? This is just like
yeah,
a separate little.
he gets fired unexpectedly during the day because so every day he shows up with his German Shepherd guide dog who stays outside.
Mhm.
He goes and plays the piano and then leaves with the dog. But we get a little scene of like the that same person that works at the school with weird ghost Albert kid approaching the dog. And then the next scene is Miss Tanner bursting in and saying the dog attacked Albert
Uh-huh.
and Daniel's fired. And as Daniel leaves, he's like, "Remember, I'm blind, not deaf. I'm
Mhm.
not deaf." Which to me, I'm like, is he saying he hears more than
Mm.
or something? I don't know. Maybe I'm reading into that, but
No,
like he
that's
was so
cool.
adamant about that. I'm like, is he saying like he know like that
Yeah.
sounded threatening, which
Yeah.
is the only reason why I think then something later that night happens to
Yeah.
Daniel.
Yeah,
Um,
he's walking through another really spooky he leaves a bar. There's a real fun
real
German
German bar. Yeah.
dance happening on there. They're doing the like slapping your foot dance. He's there
In
with his dog.
Lederhosen.
There's Lederhosen.
Hmm.
He leaves by himself. It's nighttime with his dog. They're walking through this again, like really cinematic and really eerie, like courtyard
Yeah.
outside.
It's like a really open plaza with like these like ionic pillars. There's kind
Yeah,
of
and
this
again, it looks
like
like a stage. It's like
stately.
that's all that's there,
Yeah, there's
and
like
it's just
two buildings.
dark.
Yeah, they seem like yeah, like civic or like
Hmm.
government buildings that have this kind of like yeah, Grecian
Yeah.
stateliness
And
maybe.
we get some really pulled back shots of him so we can see like he's alone in that plaza and like so small compared to these huge structures. And I feel like it's lit really weird too. Whoops. I feel
Yes.
like it's lit like again like a set or something.
Hmm.
And then he stops. He gets like a weird feeling like somebody's around him. I think he starts yelling about like I know you're there or something like that.
Hmm.
Um
And the music is building and like it's getting like eerier and eerier and like it feels like the danger is like there's something like
mhm.
yeah incoming from the outside.
I feel like the spookiest part to me was on one of the facades, you see like it's like all spotlit, and then you kind of see it's not super clear, but like you kind of see shadows moving across it
Yeah.
that I feel like kind of looked like little like cut out shapes of like a witch on a broom. Like it would be
Mm.
like a mobile or something in
Yeah,
a
yeah,
kid's room.
yeah.
Like it was so
Like a
like
shadow
rudimentary.
puppety.
Yeah, but
Hmm.
I was they were just like moving across it, and that again felt like another example of like something that's so lo-fi, but like maybe because it's so lo-fi, it like evokes a really like childlike fear in you because you're like, that's
Mm.
something that would have scared the shit out of me when I was little. And like maybe that stuff never leaves all the way. But that gave me like a really icky feeling. And then his dog attacks him. The magic was there.
The dog, yeah, dog attacks him. And this is another very like gory practical effect.
Very
You and I were
gruesome.
both like,
We're like,
oh,
oh my God. He's like ripping his throat out, and you get a couple of really close-up scenes where it's like clearly a fake head and neck, but it's like the dog is like ripping it like gizzard, like
it's like,
gut
yeah, like
and tendons,
coming
and
up
like
with stuff in its mouth.
it
And
was
he
really
like spits up
disgusting.
blood in this
Uh-huh.
gross
That
way.
bright red blood again. Blah, blah. And then I think it's only when like two cops see from across the plaza and like run
Yeah.
up, and but it's too late. It's too late for him.
Too late for Daniel. We're 2 for 2 with the people getting kicked out of the school
Yeah.
at this point.
Which I think you're right. Like if I feel like otherwise, like what would be the point of them like
Yeah.
killing him if it was
Yeah.
just like the dog thing?
That's how I made sense of it. Yeah, maybe and maybe it does have to do with just the dog thing, but it's like it almost feels like they provoked the dog.
Yeah. Yes, it felt like fake to me.
So then they kick him out and then he's like threatening them. But maybe it's just a combination of it. I don't know. I was trying to attach like meaning, I guess, to him being like,
Yeah. Or
I
maybe they
can
were like,
hear
I have
you.
a
Yeah.
crazy idea for a dog to kill somebody. How can we make that happen?
Yeah. How do we work this into the plot? Yeah.
How do we shoehorn this in?
Yeah.
Um, and then we
And then
cut
it's
back to the school.
back to the school. It's the next day, and they're talking about Daniel's murder, and like also like so weird that his dog attacked him so soon after
Isn't that
Pat being
crazy?
murdered. And I think it's Olga or someone is like joking around like maybe there's a hex on the place. Maybe we need to get an exorcist over here.
Classic Olga. Too
And it's
soon.
too soon. Too soon. Read the room.
Read the room, Olga. She won't. Um, but this is when we get, I feel like we have Sarah coming into Susie's room freaking out. She was like, I had notes from Pat that I wanted to show you, but somebody has taken them.
Yeah.
And Susie is
Well,
all drugged up still, right?
yeah, the even before that night, a few things happen, but it's I think Susie talks to Madame Blanc first and is like, I should tell you that like the night I arrived, I did hear Pat saying something about secret and irises.
Mm-hmm.
And Madame Blanc's like, that's very
Like,
interesting.
that's
Thank you for
weird.
telling me. And then Susie and Sarah go swimming together,
It
which
does
I,
sound like a tongue twister every time you say their
yeah,
names together.
Susie
Susie
and
and Sarah
Sarah.
go swimming together.
Susie and Sarah go swimming together by the seashore. Yeah,
And this scene was really cool too of them in the
this was
pool.
cool. I want this pool. I want the crazy thing about this movie, we're like, it's so uncanny, surreal. It's like living in a nightmare. And I'm like, I want all of it. I
I
want
want
the
to live
pool.
in the Suspiria
I'll
house.
live in this. I will live in Suspiria. It's fine. But yeah, there's this incredible indoor swimming pool
Mhm.
room, and Sarah and Susie go swimming together. And Sarah's like, why did you tell the teachers anything? Like, uh, you're really messing things up. And this is when she discloses that like her and Pat were actually friends and Pat has been taking
Yes.
notes for weeks. And she was trying to tell me something when you arrived, but she got scared when you showed up and ran away without telling me, like finishing telling me what she was saying. And so I don't know what she was saying. I was the one who answered when you rang the bell. And so that's why I didn't know who you were. And that's why I didn't let you in.
Mhm.
But this is like, you're right. She said, this is like, I have these notes that Pat left. But while they're swimming and she's telling her this information, like the camera shot is like above them, like giving
Mhm.
us a sense that they're being watched. And then now we're to the point you were saying where like that night when they're going to bed, Sarah comes in trying to wake Susie up and tell
Susie's
her
had her night wine already though, so she
she's
can't.
had her night wine. She's out, girl's out, and the notes are missing. Susie, wake up.
And I feel like this is when we get the Sarah saying, Susie, do you know anything about witches? Like, I feel like
Yes.
that was
Yeah.
so cool and so
Yeah.
spooky. And I feel like that's the first mention. Is that the first mention of the W word in this? Besides the like,
Yes. Besides, yes. No, this is the first time I
somebody
think
like
Sarah
says it out
brings
loud.
it up. Yeah.
Yeah.
And sorry, I'm looking back at my notes. The night before, we forgot to say when Daniel dies, the night before is when Sarah takes notes on the steps that the witches are taking.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So
So,
she is saying that she's been listening to
yeah.
them walking.
So what we didn't mention before is the night before when Daniel got murdered. While that's happening, there's a scene in which, again, Sarah was waking up Susie and she's saying, "Do you hear them walking around? I thought the teachers left at night." And Susie says, "It doesn't sound like they're walking out of the building. It sounds like they're walking deeper into the building." And
Mhm.
Sarah's like, "You're brilliant," and like takes notes and listens for the direction and how many steps footsteps she hears. So she now has her own notes. So it's getting complicated.
Getting
But
complicated.
coming back to this night after the swimming pool, Sarah has lost the other notes from Pat, but I think the notes about the footsteps still exist. Anyway, just to have that clarified. But this is sorry, going back to the moment you brought up. This is the first time I think Sarah's bringing up the fact that she thinks the teachers might be witches.
And she goes looking, right? She's like, I have my steps, my step counter.
Yeah,
I'm gonna like
and
start looking. She starts wandering around looking for
yes,
where
she
they could
starts
be
wandering
going.
around because Susie falls asleep.
Of course.
Lights start freaking out and she starts hearing like whispering noises and like the lights are coming on in the hallway and she's like, I have to get out of here. And as she like leaves, I think like the camera comes into the room almost like following, so like as if someone is like looking over Susie who's sleeping and then like someone starts following Sarah. I think the bedrooms might be green or something. Like all
Yeah.
this is where
The
the lights
lighting
get
is
really cool.
insane.
And she ends up in like the secret attic room and it's all blue. This is where we get the scene where she locks herself in this room from the person who's chasing her, who we don't see who's chasing her again. But do you remember this scene where there's like
Yes.
he latches the door
It's
and
yeah,
like
it's locked with like a latch,
Mhm.
like a porta potty or something. And a
Yes.
knife comes through the slit in the door and like goes to like lift up the latch, but like can't
Yep.
do it for some
Yes.
reason.
You're doing
It's
it
like
perfectly. That's the exact
it
speed.
would just keep going up, but it doesn't. It just keeps starting over. And Sarah is against the wall.
Yeah, we were like, she's given up.
She's
Cowering
doing
in the
nothing.
corner.
She looks up,
And
she sees a tiny window close to
yes.
the ceiling, which is probably like 8 feet up, maybe. And so she like starts stacking. There's a bunch of suitcases in there. She starts stacking them on top of each other. Doesn't seem to be in a hurry at all.
But
And
neither
keeps
is
stacking them even when it's plenty high. She keeps. And meanwhile, the knife.
it keeps cutting back to the knife, trying the same thing over and
Like
over again.
you would just. It's like
Just keep
just keep going.
it's like almost frustrating. Like I almost
It
want to
was
just be like, and then just do the
It was
thing. Yeah.
frustrating. And then she's climbing the tower of suitcases and it's like all wobbly. She gets through. She gets through the window to safety. She hops down. She's on a little ledge. And then we see across the room there's like a doorway. She's like, safety. Let me hop down off this ledge real quick. Hops down into a pit of razor wire. I was stunned. This is like a Saw movie. It's just like
Yes.
spools of razor wire.
Pools of, yeah, you'd think the window, like outside. No, it's just another room.
A ball pit filled with razor wire. And that's
Terrible.
it. That's all that was in there. Just a little window, pit, door. She gets messed up in this pit, though. She's
She's like trying
flailing.
because she's trying to get out.
She's
Oh,
tangled. It's making like the metal noise of like a springy
the
metal noise.
twangy.
Yeah. And I mean, obviously, you can tell that this is not razor wire, but like she's getting
Yeah.
covered in blood. She's screaming. And then finally, I guess that hand got the door
Yeah.
unlocked because it comes through this door? Did it come through the window?
It like comes out of the side. I don't understand.
And it has its little knife. It cuts
Yeah.
her throat.
Okay, wait, here's a theory. He's taking so long
'Cause
to
he
like
wants her to
do
get in
that
there.
so that she does like eventually gets herself climbed through and then he can come in another way. Cuz I swear the arm like if the only way he doesn't follow her through the window, it
No,
doesn't
I
seem
wouldn't
like.
think so.
So I feel like maybe the theory is I'll take so long, she'll get her own self out of the room into the razor wire room, and
And
then
then
I'll
he
go
comes
in
around
and
the
slit her throat.
outside. That makes sense. Because what doesn't make sense is how long it took. I
But
wonder if that
again,
part's on YouTube. It was so funny. It went on for so long. It reminded me of that scene you remember that scene in Austin Powers where it's like the guy's gonna get run over with the steamroller
oh yeah,
and he's like, no! And they're
no,
like, get out of the way! And
I'm
it
just like
cuts to and
waiting
they're
there.
so
There's like
far
so much
apart.
time. Exactly.
No! It was so good though. Sarah's dead.
Sarah's dead, and I do have a note on how gross the neck cutting is. They like they like cut to like obviously like another practical effect, but it's like so nasty. It's
Yeah.
again like so like such a gross moment, like what the knife cuts through a material that's supposed to be her neck, and it is like
It's like fondant. It's like, is it
yeah,
cake?
it's like this like awful like foaminess to it, so like splits open in a very like swift like
Yes.
way, and the like inside expands in this
Yeah.
nasty way.
It is disgusting. If my notes are right, I feel like it's like kind of a shift into some more like daylight stuff. We get
Yeah,
some
because
male characters.
Susie leaves the school because Sarah had mentioned that the only other person that kind of knows about like the notes that they'd been taking was her doctor friend, her psychiatrist friend, who happens to be in the city for like a conference or something like that. So yes, it is like daytime. She goes to meet him and also to be like, Sarah went missing last night. Do you know anything?
And this building is very cool. I guess this is the old BMW headquarters building.
Oh, awesome.
It's
That's cool.
very, very cool.
Yeah.
And they're talking for a while. And I feel like this is when we get that really, really cool shot, right? Was it when she was talking to the psychiatrist or was it when she was talking to the other guy? Where it's like
When
the
she,
reflection
yeah, when she's talking to the psychiatrist,
refers her to another guy.
yeah, refers her to this other doctor whose specialty is like witches and
He knows a lot about
psychosis.
witches.
But yeah, I think a lot of the shots in this scene are good because sometimes like the camera's really low and it's just capturing like their heads with like blue sky above them, and
It was
then
so cool.
there's that other great shot with her and this doctor, and it's like zooming in on this reflection as he's like speaking about witches
Yeah,
and
it's like
stuff.
them in the foreground with like a window quite a ways behind them that they're reflected in. And I feel like it like zooms in between them and to where the reflection just becomes like the shot, and it's like kind of it's like double paned glass or whatever. So
Hmm.
there's like a little bit of like a double image on both of
Yes.
them. It was so cool.
Yeah, these are like really aesthetic.
Uh-huh.
The framing, the composition of every single scene is
Hmm.
so interesting and beautiful.
Hmm.
Like you could just like pause the movie at any time and have like a gorgeous still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're all very vibey. I feel like Tumblr would eat all of this stuff up.
And they already have filters on them, blue,
That's
red.
true.
Yeah.
But she talks to this witch expert, and I forget how it comes to pass that he is informing her about the legend of Helena Marcos.
Yeah, so Mandel, the first doctor, is like, I wouldn't worry about things, but if you're interested in witches, talk to my guy. He wrote a book called Paranoia or Magic, I guess is his book. But his specialty is witches. His name's like Professor Milius or something, and he's a professor of the occult.
Oh yeah,
Remember
they kept
how
saying that.
odd
Occult.
they kept saying occult instead of occult, which I feel
Uh-huh.
like is the stand you say occult, right? Like
Yes.
I've never heard occult, but that
Occult.
was like the way that they said it. Both of the doctors are very much like witches are tied to mental illness. Like is kind of
Mhm.
like their psychiatrists. That's like their thing. Yeah. This new doctor says, I know about that how that school got established. Like it was established by like a alleged witch named Helena Marcos. She came here from Greece and she died in a fire and the school got taken over by one of her students. But overall, witches are bad news. And he reveals that the most important thing to know about witches and how they operate is within a coven, there's a leader, and all of the other witches draw strength from that leader. And if like the leader gets like killed, then everyone else will perish as well, will like
Mhm.
die. So it's kind of like head of the snake kind of
Right.
thing. But
Helpful information.
yes. And I'm sure there's tons of like discourse around the, female
Yes.
paranoia and connections with witches, but
And
we're
going to the
pretty,
men to explain it and
yeah, I'm sure
hysteria.
there's so much discourse we could like actually
Oh
do
yeah.
about that. But my next note is instead about how cute her little outfit is. The crochet little knit like sweater situation, which I feel like the Pinterest like crochet pattern
We love
girlies
a
would
knit sweater around here.
die. Yeah, I don't know what like textile art it is, but she is in a very cute outfit. So
So cute.
I'm not going into like third wave feminism discourse on this one.
We'll save that for another time.
Yeah, that's someone else's job.
All of our other videos.
Oh.
And then she heads back, right, to the school.
Yep.
Now
And
she's
she
feeling a
heads
little
back
weird.
and everyone else is gone except for like some of the like workers, the cleaners. And she decides not to eat her food or drink her wine that night. She's like now kind of questioning it.
Yeah, she dumps her food in the toilet. She dumps her wine in the sink. This scene stressed me out so bad. The way that she dumps her wine in the sink is like she like throws it and it goes all over. It's staining. And then she puts her hands in and she's trying to rinse it down the sink and it's like leaving a cast. I was like, why didn't you put that down the toilet too?
Yeah.
Or B, just pour it a little more carefully if you're worried about, oh my God, it stained so bad. I was so stressed.
And she like doesn't get it all the way and she's like,
No, she doesn't get it. She's like, that's fine. That's good enough.
yeah, this is fine. Good enough. And then a bat flies into the room.
Oh
I'd
my
forgotten about
God.
this, but I watched that scene again and like, okay, this freaked me out because I've had a similar, weirdly enough, have had a similar experience with a bat indoors.
Ooh,
I was, yeah, I was staying with a friend in college, in her apartment. Anyway, we were hanging out, and something we were hanging out in her living room, and it had just been us, and no one else was in the apartment. Something flies into the room from one of the back bedrooms. It's a bat, and it flies in, and it is obviously like looking for a way out of this
Yeah.
room and keeps flying around in circles and gets lower and lower, gets on the ground, and
Oh,
is doing this
is it
gross, like humping
crawling?
motion, just like the bat in the movie, like on the floor. And I was like, I have
Yeah.
seen this before. This is like actually what they do. This bat was just circling this room, crawling. My friend, no help at all. She's on the floor, like covering herself. I like I'm freaking out. Like this was so there was something so unsettling and creepy about this experience. But I opened the apartment door to the outside, which is luckily like adjacent to the living room. And eventually the bat was able to like use its cochlear
Oh my
whatever
God.
system to figure out how to leave. Uh, and it got out of the room. It was terrifying. I don't know what else you're supposed to do in that
I don't either.
situation, but I just
To
opened the
get a
door
bat
and waited.
stuck in your hair is like, I feel like I would just faint, black out. Like, oh,
Yeah,
ugh.
it was terrible. But what Susie does is
She
throw like
takes
a
a different
towel.
approach.
Yeah. She very assertively throws a towel onto this bat, and the bat keeps like bouncing underneath it, and then she like whacks it with a stool until it dies.
And I feel like it's like very bloody under the towel,
Yeah,
right?
I
It's
think so.
disgusting. And that bat didn't deserve that.
Right? Did the bat do anything? Just
It
there to
didn't do
spook her?
anything.
Poor little guy. Just needed to get out.
You
He's
know.
also trapped in this house, in this school.
It's like I'm scared of witches too.
I don't
Um,
want to be here either.
but now Susie's on a mission. She's
Yep.
gonna follow those footsteps that she
Mm-hmm.
remembered from her drunken
Yep.
interaction with
Yeah, she has
Sarah.
enough. Yeah, I guess this is that commentary on your memory and
Yes. Yeah.
like being in and out of consciousness. But she finds like the note and remembers like, oh, we have notes on the footsteps. So she follows that,
The
and it's like
spooky score is going.
the
Oh.
score is going, the light's weird, and it's like leading her to Madame Blanc's office, which I want that wallpaper. That wallpaper in there is
Mhm.
stunning.
It's
It's
a
so
very, very
amazing.
cool office.
On her way there, she sees like we called them the Trunchbulls. Do you remember like the like
Pair of
cook
Trunchbulls.
like maids? Yeah, they looked like Miss Trunchbull.
I was like, are they twins? Is there two of them? Or do they not look the same? They both look like Miss Trunchbull.
Yeah.
And one of them is the nurse of the spooky little
Yeah,
Victorian
like
boy.
hangs out with the little boy, yeah.
Yeah. And they're
But
like doing chores or something.
yeah, they like hang out in the kitchen and she like sneaks past them. Ends up in Madame Blanc's office and she's like confused because she's been there before, and doesn't know where else to go afterwards. But then she remembers, she puts together like the last piece of her memory of Pat leaving.
The words she was saying as she was leaving the school that we could just see her mouthing, and it cuts to like a flashback of her mouthing it, and you can like kind of hear it over the rain, is the secret I saw behind the door, 3 irises turn the blue one, is, and she like remembers that that is what, it's crazy, like recovered memory. But yeah, she sees like 3 irises as like part of the wallpaper, but the
Yes.
irises the flowers themselves are like glass or like ceramic.
Yeah,
They're
some
like
sort.
three-dimensional off of the
Yes, they
wall.
like stick off the wall. Whereas like the rest of the wall is like trompe l'oeil, I guess I should say. Like
Hmm.
it kind of looks like it should be like something, but these are like actual, you can touch
Hmm.
them. turns the blue iris, and it opens a secret hidden door into a secret hidden hallway, which is gorgeous again.
Again.
Uh,
Even the secret passageways at the school are designed to the nines.
to the
Archdigest.
nines. Yeah, but these walls are dark and they have like maybe Greek or some other language. You see like the
Yes.
word occult. There's like
Occult.
words. Oh, occult.
I believe it's pronounced occult.
Oh, I can't. And then she's following this for what feels like a very long time. But then this is where the academy instructors, the rest of the staff, like the teachers are, right? And
And
they're all like,
Albert is there. Why is
Albert is like
Albert
sitting in
there?
the doorway looking out into the hallway.
Bored, just sitting in his little ghost outfit. I don't know why he was there. But yeah, she overhears them talking about how they have to get rid of her.
Hmm.
The
We
girl from New
hear
York.
Blanc saying she must vanish, she must die. And then she starts doing kind of like a spell, right? Like
Mhm.
a
Like a little
she
incantation.
incantations. She calls to Helena to this, so this is where we're hearing that name, Helena Marcos again,
Mhm.
and she's asking Helena to give her her power. And she's saying, yeah, she must vanish. We must kill Susie.
And Susie
And
gets overcome
that's
a little bit again.
yeah, poor Susie. All because she didn't want to stay at the school.
I know. And then
Rough.
Albert, the little narc, I feel like Albert looks out
Hmm.
the door
Yeah,
and
I think you're
sees
right.
her.
And then he's like, Pavlos, go get her.
Pulls on
And so,
Pablo's jacket. Go get her.
yeah. Albert doesn't say anything in this. He's just
No,
like
he has no
ominously
lines.
there.
So yeah, Susie takes off. She's running. She finds a door somewhere. Finds in the door like a coffin, right? Or like an altar.
Uh-huh.
That has Sarah's dead body
Yep.
with pins in the eyes. Disgusting. She's oh my God. She keeps running. She's so scared. Finds another room.
It's very like Midsommar when it's like that last scene. She's like running around and there's like the people that have disappeared or like
Yes.
found flayed
Yes.
and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. And she is being so dramatic. Ooh, that reminds me because I actually read this and was like, oh, I kind of get that. But I feel like this scene especially, I'm like, oh, I really get that. I think Dario Argento spoke to like director of photography or like the lighting guy. Somebody was told to pull inspiration from the original Snow White cartoon
Oh,
in terms of like
interesting.
lighting, which I'm like, I for sure get, but I like forgot about that and then was just going to describe this scene as like when she's running through the woods and like stuff is like tearing at her clothes and there's like bats and she's like, oh, like I feel like it's like very, which is the
Yes,
scariest Disney movie is Snow White.
truly.
So
Truly.
it's like, yeah, especially with like the Black Forest outside, it's like, it's very much giving like she is just
Yes.
running terrified. Um, she comes, I feel like, upon another room. Um, this is the one that has the fabulous peacock sculpture.
Yes.
She walks in. It's very striking. A real scene stealer.
Yeah.
And there is like a canopy bed with like draperies, and again, it's backlit. You can see a figure
Yeah.
laying on the bed and
Hmm.
snoring a creepy little snore.
A creepy little snore. We know that snore.
We know
We've
that
heard it
snore.
before. And
Um,
and speaking of the decorative peacock, I think that is what she like knocks it over or
she knocks it
something,
over.
and it wakes up our madam, who now we know is Madame Marcos. She didn't
She
die.
sits up, and it's like very haunted house, right? Like it's like just a
Hmm.
shadow of like a person sitting up, and like
Yes.
the spooky voice being like, "You dad, come to me," like. But also
Yes.
haunted houses are scary.
Yes. This is like it gets the most haunted house near the end, I feel like. But yeah,
Uh-huh.
Madame Marco's voice is crazy, and
It's
she's like
crazy.
also like laughing, and her
Uh-huh.
laughter sounds like several different voices like
Uh-huh.
stacked on each other.
And
Crazy.
then she picks up one of the peacock feathers is like sharp. I don't
Yeah.
understand what.
Susie grabs like what yeah, it's like
Like what is this
a
thing? Is
stabbing device
it did it just happen to break into knives or is it like
perfectly into knives. Yeah.
so she grabs one and is this does she like open the curtain or is this when the door opens?
The door opens and Susie, who's been like
Or
reanimated,
Sarah
comes in. Or
with
sorry. Oh my
with the
God.
pins in her eyes. Yeah, comes
Yes,
in. It's
Sarah
very
comes
Evil
in.
Dead, I feel like.
Yes. So Madame Marcos has like made her reanimate and come in to kill Susie. But I think then Susie must move the
Yeah.
curtain. She tries to find Madame Marcos to stab her, but she's invisible.
Yeah, opens the curtain. There's nothing there, but we can still hear the laugh, like ah, ah, ah. And then lightning flashes, and you see a very funny 70s CGI of like her outline
Yes.
flashing, like just the silhouette of a person like lighting up. And Susie just stabs into the nothing, and it stabs into some nasty, crispy, burned neck of Marcos. It was so
Oh my
gross.
gosh. This was like one of the worst things to look at for me. It
Yes.
was very difficult.
And we just got close-ups. We didn't get like a full shot of her, but it's like
No.
her eyes and it's like everything is like charred on her because she died in a
Hmm.
fire, right? Died in a fire.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
But
that
it's
is
like
why
her
her skin
lips
is
are
like that.
black. It's like everything is black and she's like, ah.
And it's
And
like so
then
close up on like how her mouth is moving and her
yeah, it was
ah.
disgusting. But that stops Sarah in her
Hmm.
tracks. And then other things just start exploding in the room.
Yeah, then the school starts shaking and then like falling apart. The walls are coming down. Susie's like, time to go.
Time, I gotta
And
get out of
she
here.
starts running. You see like the other teachers are like dying. They're like holding their
Mhm.
throats and they're starting to like fall apart as well. And this is very like haunted house to me as she's leaving. Things are like falling down as
Uh-huh.
she's like running past them and she goes into that main entrance hall and is like running down that giant staircase and like things are like exploding and
Mhm.
jump scares everywhere. And she runs outside. The school erupts in flames. She like gets out and it's raining out and she's kind of
Mhm.
almost like laughing with
She's like, yeah,
relief.
she's like smiling and like looking up into the rain and like so relieved, so
Like I
confident
made
that
it
this is
out.
over.
And then the shot focuses in on one of the windows of the school, just like flames
Mhm.
within and credits roll.
And that's it. Oh my gosh, the score. The score is crescendoing
Oh, this score alone, yeah, amazing. I feel
right
like we
right
didn't even
to
talk about
finish.
it enough.
Yeah.
It's just so good.
Well, it's like pretty indescribable. I feel like you kind of nailed it when you're like, it's like a haunted music box, but it's like
Yeah.
again similar to Clute. It's like kind of like airy and like on the high end
Hmm.
of things, but like I don't even know what instruments were used to make
At
it. It's just
some
like
point, yeah, at some point there's a guitar, like in certain one scene, I feel like that's like just like, but it's like this ominous, like
Mhm.
building, like
It's very cool.
swelling. Yeah, and there's like sometimes women's voices that are kind of like
Mhm.
wailing. It's really great.
It was really cool. I feel like this is one of those movies that's like, your favorite horror movie. Like I feel like this probably inspired so many
Hmm.
other things, and I feel like the things that we saw that we were like, oh, that reminds me of this is probably like it directly influenced that.
Yeah.
Um, and I feel like it's like I don't know, to show it to like a kid or like a teenager, I feel like they would be like, this is so corny, but like it's so like drama and so like artistic
Hmm.
that like it's not there were like some suspenseful moments for sure and like a couple of like, ooh, that's weird and spooky, but like not really like a horror movie. I wouldn't say it's like a horror movie. Like it's like a thriller, like you said, like just like a little like pulp dime store like spooky story that's like really flashy and like really stylized and very of the times, but in like a very cool way. I don't
Yeah.
know. I feel like this was like very like I would watch this again for sure.
Oh, yeah. It's a great, I understand why it's like canon for
Yeah.
horror. It very much like knows what it is. Like the choices are all very intentional. It's super fun.
What
And
is I want to find that quote that I read
yeah,
you.
pull up that quote because we did right after we watched it. We both, having seen Guadagnino's version, talked about how we felt about both of the movies now that we've seen them and what we would compare them to. I like now having had some time too, like I still I like them both. Like I love them both for different
Yeah, they're
reasons.
so different.
I feel like I feel like to me they feel like two different projects, and I think you said it well where you said it doesn't feel like Guadagnino's Suspiria is a remake, but more of like an homage or a love letter to this one.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't necessarily feel like a faithful remake. And I'm okay with that personally. I feel like both directors are just so unique and different in their own ways. And so I can hold both of the movies and love them both for different
Yeah,
reasons.
I
That's how I
agree.
feel about them.
I found the review. It's it references something called the Innocent Smoothie People, which I don't know if that's referring to the brand of innocent smoothies, in that it's like perhaps like gentrification crowd. I'm not sure. But it says at the end of the day, it's significant that Argento's work is being remade, and I have endless appreciation for the fact that it wasn't dumbed down and rebooted for the masses in the way that so many horror classics have been. That said, I feel like one of the genre's staples, brilliant in its caution to the wind individualism, has just been repackaged by the innocent smoothie people and now has the words "This is good cinema" written on it so that you don't have to decide for yourself. And I feel like did you agree with that? I agreed with that. It's like a little
Yeah.
harsh, but like, let me turn on my light again. Um, but like, yeah, I feel like the Guadagnino Suspiria is like, oh my God, like what a good movie. That was so
Yes.
beautiful and such a
Yes.
good movie.
Very
And this
solid.
one,
It checks off all the boxes that you're
yeah,
requiring for good cinema.
yeah. And I feel like you could show it to like a teenager and have them be like, oh, this is something I'm supposed to take seriously.
Yes.
And like, I can, like, it has all the signifiers. And that doesn't make it less of a good movie, but like this one just doesn't have those same signifiers. And it's like you do have to decide for yourself because it is pretty corny and like the effects are not great and all of these things, but it's like all of them together are like,
You
this is a
need
phenomenal movie.
You kind of need film literacy to really
Yes.
appreciate this one,
Yeah.
which I'm saying that, and I know I'm not even that literate in film. And
Right.
so I'm sure I'm missing some of it
Yeah.
too, but
Oh,
I
same.
feel like
But you're 100%
I,
right. Like you
yeah,
need
but I feel like
context and you need, yeah.
yeah, I can really appreciate it and love it for my own reasons. Like I just had such a good time watching it,
Hmm.
and I think it's like, I feel like Argento was like, there's such a passionate, like, you can't not be dedicated to making this movie and not have all the details and all of like the grandeur put into it. Did you look up Argento's response to the newer Suspiria?
Mm-mm.
The quote I found
Oh
was
God.
he said of Guadagnino's Suspiria, "It did not excite me. It betrayed the spirit of the original film. There is no fear. There is no music. The film has not satisfied me so much."
Oh no. I felt like there was fear.
I feel like I don't know what you would feel as a person who like made something and then
Oh my
someone
God.
else
Yeah.
like obviously like I don't
And
know.
especially if you did not either like have say or like have like I don't know, didn't get to input. I don't know how it works in terms of like him having to like relinquish rights to anything or if he never
Mm.
had them to begin with, but oh, I would absolutely hate. I feel like anything anyone made that was
Yeah.
like different than the vision that you had that you like put together and then yeah, this is like so different and so much more polished and like less of a
Yeah.
statement, I guess.
Yeah.
That's
It is a
funny.
bold move to make remake a movie of a artist who's still living. I think is pretty
Yes.
bold.
Yeah, and still like working, it sounds like. Yeah, they do feel very, very different from each other, like maybe cousins.
I've actually enjoyed certain adaptations that have nothing like have very like little to do with the source material. Like
Hmm.
I'm a Shirley Jackson lover. I love The Haunting of Hill House, OG, the
Hmm.
book. And then there's that like I don't know
The
if like a
series.
production company or that series that
Yeah.
did Haunting of Hill House is nothing like the book, and I think it's a great series. I
Hmm.
saw it first and then I read the book and realized how different they were, and again, I kind of just have a love for both,
Yeah.
and I feel like I'm okay with like um that kind of like taking liberties, like taking a thing that someone loved and then like making their version that like kind of spirals out of like the original intent. But it's like, how do you make the exact same thing? I think everyone would be like so like disappointed. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I agree. Yeah, it's like if you're remaking it, people don't, you can't make it. I
You
mean, if you're gonna
can't.
make it exactly the same, then why are you remaking it at all?
Yes.
And
Just
so,
like don't remake it if it's supposed to be exactly the same.
yeah. Okay, so we definitely have decided that this is very different from the Luca Guadagnino version and very special for its own reason. But I just have one more question. What about Bubs?
I'm so glad you asked. In this movie, the character Olga shows us that a girl can have it both ways. Olga has really long hair, gorgeous long dark locks, but when we're introduced to her, she has her hair pulled up in this glorious kind of bob shape. So it's not like actually cut as a bob. It doesn't have that flirty movement that like when you shake your head. I feel like it's like
It's like
held in
sculptural.
place. This is
It's
another reason why I think she might be a witch, because how do you get your hair like that?
it's yeah, it's like
It's
a headpiece. It's like a helmet
sculptural. Yes. It's like rolled back on itself
almost. No,
around
zero movement
zero movement,
whatsoever.
but you get the
The shape of a bob.
the
You'd never
shape of a
know.
bob, the like neck exposure
Mhm.
of a bob. She
Mhm.
really does the like today I want a bob, today I want long hair.
Mhm.
She gets both. And we really love her for that.
It's the solution. It's the we were talking before about Dakota Johnson in Suspiria is the only time we've had an hair envy that wasn't a bob, and it was her great long braid she wore down the
Yes.
middle of her back. And Olga could do both. You have that great long braid, and then you twist it up so that it becomes just like almost a triangle. What is the back doing, do we think? Do we think there's a bun behind there?
That is what I don't know. I don't think we get to see the back of
You
this
don't. But
this
yeah, it's like
style.
rolled. It's like rolled
It's
back.
rolled. It's just fabulous.
It's fabulous.
I get jealous of this because I have such fine hair.
Oh, I would never be able to.
Like never, would never. Like anytime people do fun, like, oh, this just do this. Like, you want to make your ponytail more interesting? It's like, my ponytail doesn't get more
They
interesting.
don't understand.
Like, I don't, like, it just is this little flat little piece of hair, and that's all
Uh-huh.
it is.
That's all we have.
Um, so really, Olga, star of the show when it came to hair.
Yeah.
Just
Energetically, I feel like this is a Bob.
energetically a Bob, absolutely. And like, lucky, lucky girl, because she can have her long hair when she wants it too.
Lucky
And
girl.
yeah, just doesn't have to go through the long grow out period. She just puts it
And
up, puts it
maybe it's
down.
what saved her in the end.
You know what?
Wait, does she die in this movie?
Well, that's where I'm like, we lose track of
She lives
Olga.
off campus.
But by the end of the movie, all the students are off at some other ballet.
So unless she's a witch, which
She could be a witch. That's kind of my headcanon, is that she
okay.
is somehow connected. Like, what if she's like the up and coming witch
Mm.
that's
And
gonna
she just
like
like
be the
dropped dead in her
predecessor
apartment.
too?
Mm-hmm.
Because she's weird and she helped them get Girly Pop back to the school.
That's true too. Maybe she goes on to start a new school that is in Luca Guadagnino's Suspiria. Crossover character, maybe. Well,
Very
that's
interesting.
Suspiria, part one of our
Suspiria.
new
Huh.
of our
New
new group.
series.
New
Again, we're just your extended cut spooky season because we will be continuing with spooky theme, I
We will have
think,
another
right?
spooky one. Yes. Our
Which
next movie, next time, my pick is we are going to be watching Him, which is came out this year, right?
I think
2025,
so.
which Jordan Peele produced, I believe. I don't think he directed it though, did he?
I
We'll
think he
find
just produced.
out.
We'll find out. And more importantly, we'll hopefully find out if there's a Bob or some Bob association because that's kind of what we've been really making Bob's work the last couple. The word Bob.
Really shoehorning the bobs in where
Hmm.
there aren't any bobs. I cannot wait. I'm so excited. And then we also get the thrill of piecing it together with this movie and then a third movie.
And then a third movie.
Very
So,
excited.
yeah, start thinking about what this theme might be, but I'm very excited to watch him. Sounds
Me
great.
as well. All right. Well, thanks for watching What About Bobs. We'll catch you next time.
Catch you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Three,
Three,
two,
two,
one.
one.
Bye.
Bye.